Wait, seriously? Wait, how many CDs do I have of these girls? Kitsuya says, I remember a Haruhism. No. Okay. That was it. Alright. Alright. I'm not proud of this, but there was a time when, like, I was a little bit into the idol craze. I mean, I kind of talked about this a little bit. Oof. Oof, okay. Alright. Get a couple. Alright. Alright. So there's this. There's this. Let me go ahead and just, go ahead and just extend this a little bit. Alright, so there's this, 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 the same girls. It's like, yeah, I kind of went a little bit overboard with. I have like 4 CDs. I can't hold them all, but yeah, I got a little bit of their works though, and yeah, not sure why I went crazy for these 3 in general, but like I did though. Yeah, this is just like the 3 that I'm holding right now. I have more actually. I mean, the songs I still like the songs. Like, is not bad. I still like them, but like I wouldn't go out of my way to buy more of them though if I saw them again. I mean, I wonder what they're doing right now. I'm kind of I kind of wonder what they're doing. I don't even remember why I remember liking these girls either. I don't remember why I remember liking these girls. I think I was being a hipster because I think they weren't even that popular. If I remember right, I don't think these 3 were like the most popular at the time. So like I think I was being a hipster. I want to say I was. I was like, "Oh, you never heard of them, but like they're better than your mainstream idol shit," you know? Because like I don't think these 3 girls were mainstream. I don't think they were. I mean, maybe they were. Maybe I'm not. I don't know. I have no idea. What else do we got? The rest of this. The rest of this. Here's another one. This one I'm actually okay with. Here's another. This one's a solo girl. Nana Mizuki. I remember really liking her shit because like the first time I heard of Nana Mizuki, it was like for Maho Shoujo Lyrical Nanaha. She was like the OG singer for the OP, I think. And then like she just started singing like other shit, and I started getting like the rest of her CDs. So yeah, I have a few CDs. This is just one of them, but I have like 5. I have like 5 or 6 Nana Mizuki CDs. Yeah, I was like all about them idols though. But Nana Mizuki, I'm cool with though. Like, I actually legit would buy a new Nana Mizuki CD if I happen to see one. I mean, like, I'm not gonna order it online or anything, but if I see it though, like, if I were to like physically like walk into a Japanese store and just happen to see like a new like Nana Mizuki CD, I'll buy it. Sure, why not? I mean, music CDs, like, if it's a single or pretty cheap, it's like $10. It's like 10 or $12 for a single, basically. If it's like a compilation though, those are usually more expensive. Like compilation discs are like 30 to $40 usually. But singles though is only like 2 or 3 songs though, and that's like $10. Here's another one. This one I think was like the second opening for Mahou Shoujo no Nanaha, I think. No, I think Secret Ambition. I think that one was the Nanaha Ace. I think this one was Ace. This one's very fancy. It opens up like a book, actually. Look at this. Look how fancy this shit is. It opens up. It actually opens up like a book. That's cool. Like, you cannot replicate this digitally, guys. This is something that you had to buy a physical. This has to be physical media. You know what I'm saying? There's just some things you cannot replicate, you know, like when you fucking buy it on fucking Spotify. That's not the same. Also, guys, I would never buy anything on Spotify. Never. Unless maybe I really wanted to support like a certain group and like I couldn't support them any other way or something. Maybe? I just don't see a point in buying digital shit sometimes. If you guys get my meaning. Uh, this one's really old. I have this one in a different location. Hold on. So, I know that some of you guys watching are kind of a bit on the young side, but do you remember how much money you've ever spent on like CDs in total? Music CDs. I'm not talking about DVDs. I'm not talking about DVDs or VHS, but music CDs in general. Because like I spent a lot of money just on music CDs alone. You know? Hashtag fucking piracy, hashtag fucking go buy shit, whatever. But you know, like, so here's a big one I got. This is a really big music collection. So the thing about this one is that this is predominantly sung literally by like almost like just one seiyuu basically. Almost one. Practically one. This retails at 10,500 yen. 10,500 yen. This is a really big music compilation. This is super duper huge. Look how thick this book is. Look at that. See how thick that book is? Look at this shit. Look at how big. Look at how big that is. There's pages. There is pages and pages of lyrics on this thing. It is so goddamn huge. I think the light is a little off here. Hold on. And just there we go. I think the light was a little off, but yeah, like there is pages and pages of lyrics. This right here. Look at this. Ugh. Trying to fit it all. Look at that. Look at this shit. You cannot replicate that, you know, like digitally. There's 4 discs. This is a 4-disc compilation thing. Look at that. So it's like this, right? It's like that. This opens up. Boom. Hey, look at that. No CDs. You gotta open it up again. Open it up again. And there it is. Dude, this is like to me, this is like porno. Like, this shit is like, this is like fucking X-rated right here. Look at that. Disc 1, Disc 2, Disc 3, Disc 4. It actually says disc. It says disc, Who's the main singer? Who is the main singer for this again? Let me see. Who is the main singer? God damn. I mean, if I should still have all this shit saved on my computer. Cause like I ripped the songs from this like a long ass time ago. Cause I got this back in 2003, I think. I mean, what the hell were you guys doing in 2003? You know, what were you doing? Where is it? Where is it? I should still have this say. Search songs. Don't remember what I have it saved. Ah, here we go. Kotoko! That's the main singer, Kotoko. So, so this is 4 CDs. This is like 4 CDs, and like pretty much like almost every song in this compilation thing is sung by one woman, Kotoko. And here's the thing though, she has more songs than just these 4 CDs. So Kotoko. So this gonna show my age a little bit, but like you guys know Utada Hikaru, right? She kind of like super like at this point she's kind of like considered OG now. She's kind of like the main girl who sings like Kingdom Hearts shit and crap like that. She also sung some Final Fantasy shit too. She's definitely sung some Final Fantasy music. Kotoko was like the original Utada Hikaru, basically. Like yeah, it's like she sang so many songs. I have like almost like her entire I have like almost like her entire collection. Basically. If I were to like put all her songs together, which I have by the way, I mean, how long would this be? How long would this be if I were to put all her songs together? Hold on. Let me see. If I put all of Kotoko's songs in one spot, I'm putting this right now in my music player, and I'm seeing like what the total time would be. Because I have like pretty much like all her songs almost. Actually, I don't think I have all her songs, but like it's pretty long though. Fuji says I listen to her songs. I'm mostly from Shadow no Shakakin. Yeah, no, she definitely was there for Shadow no Shakakin. Okay, I put it all in my music player. How do I figure out like what the max duration for this? What is the max duration? I do that. I do that. 11 hours! Holy shit! 11 hours? My god! Oh yeah, I could believe 4 to 6 minutes on average per song. 4 to 6 minutes on average. 11 hours. Basically, if I wake up in the morning, I could play this Kotoko collection, and like I could do like a whole 8-hour shift at work, and I would still have music to listen to by the time I got home. That's insane. That is crazy. How many songs do I actually have? I have 128. 128 music files in here, and I feel like that's probably only scratching the surface. There's got to be more than just that. There must be more than just that. But it's what I have in there though. It's what I have in that folder basically. Woof. You know what? Oh shit. Story time. This actually is related just because like it's Kotoko and all right, this is like this is gonna be some real talk shit right here, guys. All right, let me go ahead and just get rid of this. Let me go ahead and just get rid of that. That. Okay, let's just do this. All right. I don't want just like empty space there. Hold on. Kotoko. What can I put in there to like really like home in on like the rant that I'm about to have? Which I'm going to actually separate this so I can actually upload this to YouTube. Picture folder. Man, I don't know about you guys, but some of the pictures I have in my picture folder, I have like anime pics dating back to like 2001. You know what I'm saying? Like, holy shit, is that fucking old? Uh, what can I put in here that would show like my age? What can I put in here? Something that says, "Hey, I'm old, and if you don't understand this reference, you're too young for this channel." And also get the fuck out. Let me see. Oh, speaking of Shauna, hey, hey, Shauna, look at that. I'm just looking randomly in my picture folder, and I just happen to see that. That's a GIF I must have downloaded years ago. Like I saw the GIF and like I was like, hey, that looks cool. I'll fucking download that. What else do I have in here? Trying to think of it. Uh, have a Final Fantasy folder. Let me see. I got a Haruhi folder. Oh shit! Do you guys remember Hayate no Gotoku? That was a fun anime series. That was cool. Dude, Lucky Star makes me feel old. I have a Lucky Star folder in here. That makes me feel super old. Like, I remember when Lucky Star was everywhere, too. Like, Lucky Star was, like, everyone was, like, into the memes, like, back in the day. I mean, like, I don't know, like, compared to now, I guess, but, yeah, everyone was, like, into the memes and shit, and, like, Lucky Star was, like, one thing that, like, nobody could, like, stop talking about. What else do I got in here? Oh, I have like a fan art folder. Yeah, I have a folder for like some of my old fan art. I'm too embarrassed to show that off. I am way too embarrassed to kind of show some of that folder. Oh my god, I remember. I should delete this. I should delete this folder right here. I should delete that folder. I have like some picture folders in here that like I feel like I should get rid of, but like I kind of don't want to get rid of it. I'm like hoarding. It's like I'm physically hoarding, but like I'm not hoarding though. It's digital. Like, do you guys have that? Do you guys have shit that... I'm sure you guys are not on your first computer. I'm sure some of you may be on like your third or fourth computer or something. Do you guys have data that you saved from like your very first computer to like now? Like whether it be like old pictures or music or something like that? Because I do. I got some old ass anime pictures that like I haven't gotten rid of. And it's like, why do I have them? Like, that's the question. Why do I have some of these anime pictures? It's not like I even go through these pictures anyway. Like, I must have like 1,000. I must like 2 to 3,000 like anime pictures alone in this folder. And it's like, do I need 3,000? Do I need like 3,000 anime pictures? Like, I'm never gonna go through it unless I retire. Like, that's like the only way I would ever go through this folder again. Like, why? You know? I should just get rid of it. I really should. I should just get rid of it. But I don't because I'm hoarding? I'm hoarding data? That just sounds so weird to say. Oh my god. My god, I'm like... This is so fucking old. I feel gray hair. Like, I feel myself getting older right now. Looking, oof, I remember that. I remember that. The thing is that if you look at the quality too of like some of your old pictures, you know what year it's from, even without like really clicking on it, just because of the quality, right? Like the pictures look like shit basically. It looks like crap, but like, you know, you still have it for like whatever reason. Alright, so here's one. Do you guys remember OS Tans? Do you remember that shit? Like XP Chan, 2000 Chan, Windows 98 Chan? Dude, I remember that. I think this picture sums up just how old I am. I remember that shit. Holy crap. A lot of fan art for the OS Chans back in the day. It was like OS Chan, like fan art. I remember ME Chan. Yeah. Anyway, going back to, oh wait, I should just play some music while we're at this thing. I might as well just play the Kotoko thing I have in here. Might as well. Might as well. There we go. I don't want the music to be too loud because I don't want to be too distracting from the rant that I'm about to do. There we go. I'm basically playing just the Kotoko. I'm just playing the Kotoko music folder I have right now. Rant. So yeah, if you guys can't really hear the music that well, just listen to the beats, I guess, because again, like, unlike when we were listening to Girls Front Line, it's not like this music is meant to be that big of a deal. It's just more of a backdrop. It's just a backdrop to like what this rant's about. Since like us talking about old shit and like my Kotoko music collection, as well as like going through like my old CDs, it just reminded me of this story, which I'm about to go into. Yeah. What is the copyright? Hold on. I'm like distracting myself again, but like I want to know what the copyright is for like some of these songs. Like I don't know if my computer even has that kind of data inside of it, but I'm curious though if it does have it in there. Let me see. Does it tell me the copyright? 2000? Fucking year 2000? Oh my god. No. No. That's how far back this goes? So yeah, what were you guys doing in the year 2000? Shit. Oh my god, I am old. I am old. Alright. I know that I've said that. I know I've been saying this a lot, but god damn. Alright. Alright. Kitsune says Y2K time. Dude, do you remember when people thought the world was gonna end in 2000? People thought the world was gonna end. If you didn't live through that, like, you don't know. You don't know. You don't understand if you didn't live through that. Like, I was like 13 at the time, 14. I think I was like 13 or 14. It was 1999. 1999, the world was gonna end. Or no, the 2000 was gonna end. But in 1999, though, people were scared. People were hoarding. People were like hoarding toilet paper and canned foods in 1999 because of the year 2000. Like, I lived through that shit. That shit was crazy. Again, for those of you younger folks, you may not know it that well, but it was just trying times, though. It was trying times. Alright. Okay. So. Hold on. Hold on. I want to play like a good song. The song is mostly for me, not for you guys. It's mostly for me. No. This is good. Alright. Again, this is mostly for me. Kitsune says, I was a kiddo wanting the new Jurassic Park 3 toys, so the word ending hysteria didn't affect you. Alright. Oh god, this song. Hold on, I'm sorry. Let me listen to this for a little bit. This actually brings up a lot of memories. I can get lost in some of my music. I'm being serious right now. Like, there's some old music I have in my song folder that I've had forever, and if I listen to them again, I'm not listening to the music itself. It's more like I'm getting lost in the memories I've had when I was listening to that music the first time. And that makes me sound really old. That makes me sound like I'm reminiscing and shit. But I guess I'm old enough to reminisce, right? I guess I'm old enough to reminisce. Alright. So, okay, so this was back in, like, 2010, I want to say. I want to say this was back in 2010. No. It was, like, back in 2008. Like, 2008, 2007, I think. Because it was after I graduated high school. I know this was after I graduated high school. Alright. What's the longest time you guys have ever spent in your car? That wasn't a road trip. Right? The longest time you guys have ever spent in your car that wasn't a road trip. For me, I spent a full 24 hours in my car. 24 hours in my car, not a road trip. I I spent about 12 hours in the car when it was stationary. Stationary. I was in my car for like 12 hours. The other 12 hours I was driving, but again though, it wasn't meant to be a road trip though. I was just like just going somewhere. So yeah, let me tell you guys a story. And again, this reminded me about it. And when we brought up Kotoko, it reminded me about this story. So, all right, strap in. All right. So I'm gonna like kind of like skim over certain details because like personal shit. As also like I'll be talking about other people, so like obviously I'm not gonna be giving out like super critical information about them or anything. But normal day, right? Normal day. So this was back in 2007, 2008, right? Like I said. So this was back when like you know, people were still using CDs, right? People were still using CDs. I think the iPod Nano was a big thing back in the day, right? Weren't people going crazy about the iPod Nano and shit? Shit, do I not have that here? Oh, there we go. So, here we go. This is, I think this is the one I had. Do you guys remember this? Remember this? Remember this? You remember saving all your shit on like CDs, DVD? You remember this? Ugh. Just burning, like burning shit, because hard drives were expensive. And also, like, this is back in 2007, by the way. 2007, early 2000s, and, like, not everyone could afford a fucking MP3 player, an iPod Nano, and shit, you know? Okay, anyway, yeah. Oh my god. So anyway, this was back, so, like, this was back when I was burning a lot of shit on music CDs, and all of my music that I wanted to listen to in my car, I burned it on CDs. And this was one of them. But I also, like, you know, I downloaded things online, right? You guys do it too. So I did more than just burn my physical CDs, of course. I also had, like, you know, like I said, I had downloaded stuff online, and then, like, I burned it onto a CD, and then of course I had to format it to music CD to fit my car, because my car had a regular CD player. My car was not, it couldn't play MP3 disc. I don't know if you guys actually know what that is. I mean, like, I'm making it sound like I'm such a boomer right now, but there's a difference between a CD, a music CD, and an MP3 disc. So a music CD is formatted to work on any player. So a music CD can only fit about 10 or 11 songs on it. And then a MP3 disc was a higher quality, and that could fit like over like 100 songs on it. But it came with a downside that the MP3 disc could only play on music players that was MP3 formatted. And not all music players were like that. That was like the expensive. Those were only like expensive music players. And like I said, like I had like an old car. So like I couldn't really like you know, like use those. So like I had to make regular CDs, which means I needed a big book. I needed a big book like this shit to you know, like have all my CDs in my car. And then like I had to manually change out CDs, you know, whenever I wanted to like listen to new music and shit, because you know, who listens to the radio? Radio? I don't listen to the radio. I want to listen to my music, all right? Not like whatever is fucking popular at that point, you know? So anyway, kind of got a little bit off topic there, but I needed to set the setting though. So it was, my day started off like relatively normal, and a friend of mine went to like a tour vacation. I'm not really sure how to explain it. It was not a vacation, it was more like a camp kind of thing, but not really a camp. Shit. Field trip? Kind of like a field trip, I guess. Except it was like a multi-day, though. It was like a multi-day field trip. Because it wasn't really a camp, but like, they were gone for more than a few days. So, they were on a bus, basically. So, like, my friend was on a bus with other people from, like, his class or whatever like that. And, you know, they just went somewhere. I don't even know. I don't even remember, like, where they actually went. I just know that, like, they went together as a group. And, like, it was paid for by the school or something like that. Wait, was it paid for by the school? No, I think they actually paid out of their own pocket. Like, the school buffered, like, some of the payment, though. I think the school paid for half, but then, like, you still had to pay to go on the trip, though, because, like, the trip was expensive or something. Anyway, gone for a few days, and, on that day, I remember I was watching anime. I was just, like, I didn't have anything planned on that day, so, like, I was just at home, and, we had talked about this before, he went on a trip, and, like, you know, he's like, oh, like, you're gonna pick me up, right? I'm all like, why? I don't know why I gotta do it. Because, like, I didn't drop him off, like, somebody else, like, dropped him off, so I'm like, why do I gotta do it? And he's all like, because, like, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be, like, in the middle of the night, and, like, my family doesn't want to pick me up in the middle of the night. I'm all like, they don't want to pick you up, but I gotta do it? I mean, like, yeah, I said, yeah, you know, I'll do it. I got a car. Because not all my friends had a car, you know, and, like, shit. That you know, that's the second thing, too. If you're, like, the first friend, if you're the first person in your group, in your circle of friends to get a car, you're the man. You're the one that has to drive everyone's ass everywhere, and you're all like, fuck that shit, you know? Like, sometimes you want to say no, you know? You're like, but here's the thing, though. Charge gas money. Charge gas money. It's like, I will take you places. I will take time out to be your personal taxi cab driver. You gotta pay for my gas, alright? But the thing is that, like, you do a little bit of upselling. So, like, you don't charge him for just the gas that you spent. You charge him for, like, future gas, too, technically. So, like, making that little profit. Uber. I was basically like a fucking Uber driver, you know, for your friends and shit. So I was like, okay, fine, you know, I'll pick you up, whatever, blah, 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 blah. So it was the day that, you know, my friend was coming back. And I was like, cool. I almost forgot, by the way. But the thing is that, like, I still needed to wait for a call, though. I needed to wait for him to call my cell phone because, like, because he didn't know the exact time they would come back, since they're on a bus. They're on a bus and shit. So, like, it's whenever the school will decide they start going back or something. They had, like, a semi-schedule, but not, like, a set schedule, I guess. Or maybe the teachers were playing it by ear. I had no fucking idea. So, I was just waiting for a call. It's, like, 10 o'clock at night, right? No, not yet. It was 6 o'clock. It was 6 o'clock at night, and, like, I'm like, crap, it's like the sun's going down already. Like, he still hasn't called me, you know? Like, what's going on? Like, I guess he has gotta wait longer, you know? It's 8 o'clock. It's 8 o'clock, and only then do I finally get a call, and calls me up, right? And he's all like, hey, you know, you're still gonna pick me up, right? I'm all like, yeah, I was just waiting for you to call me, so you want me to leave now? And he's like, yeah, leave now, because the place was kind of far away, actually. The pickup spot was kind of far away from where I lived, so, like, it was, like, literally, like, it was an hour and a half drive to get to the pickup spot. Because, like, the bus drop-off point was kind of, like, near the edge of town, which I thought was kind of weird, but whatever. Because it was, like, a bus station. I think that's what it is. It's, like, it's a place where all the buses congregate. You know what I'm saying? Like every out-of-town bus goes to this station or something to, like, fuel up and, I guess, like, drop off and people or something. So So yeah, I had to like drive now because it's like an hour and a half just to get there. And now I have to get there, and now I have for me to get fucking back home. But you know, I'm a good friend. Whatever, you know. And then he drops this on me. Oh hey, but don't look for me though, because you're not picking me up. I'm like, what? And he goes, yeah, you're gonna go to the drop-off point, but you're not picking me up. I'm like, what are you talking about? And he's like, well, because I'm not on the bus. And I'm like, what? And he's like, yeah, like, so like the bus left, but I'm actually not on that bus because I decided to stay over here. And I'm like, wait, can you do that? Because like, you know, you went on this trip with like the rest of your class or whatever. And he's all like, well, actually, the thing is that like, it is also a trip that we all technically paid for. And it's not like we're kids or anything, so like, if we choose to stay, we could stay if we want. I'm like, wait, why the fuck are you staying though? Turns out, he met one of his childhood friends at, like, the place that they went to, right? And, like, I'm talking like, this is like some, like, anime shit too, though. Like, they met, like, in fucking kindergarten or, like, some shit like that, and, like, they had, like, fucking puppy love, like, a crush on each other or something. They played with each other and shit. And I'm all like, tell me that you're bullshitting me right now. And he's like, no, like, I met her, and, like, we realized that, like, it was us back in kindergarten and shit. And then we even had pictures, that we could, like, look at, and we recognized them and crap. And I'm like, shut up. No, don't tell me anymore. But he keeps on talking, though. And he's like, yeah. And then, like, they hung out, during the trip, and he even ditched his class a few times just to hang out with her and crap. And then when it was time to, like, leave, he told, like, his, classmates and, like, his teacher that, like, he's not going back and crap. So, like, the teacher just needed him to, like, sign, like, a waiver saying that, like, they offered him a ride back, and he like, said no or whatever. And, like, he stayed there to, like, hang out with this girl. And I'm all like, no, just, why am I going then? So, wait, you're telling me to go to the drop point anyway. Why are you telling me to go to the drop point? And he's like, well, because you set time aside anyway to go to the drop point to pick me up. And I'm like, yes, but if you're not there anymore, then that means I'm not gotta go anymore. And he goes, well, yeah, but the thing is that, like, there was actually this other girl, that my classmate, there was this girl classmate I had who was also trying to wait for a ride, but then, like, her parents said that, like, they weren't gonna go pick her up anymore, so she didn't have a ride anymore, and she doesn't really want to try and take a taxi at that late at night, anymore. Because, like I said, like, he's calling me at 8 o'clock at night. So, like, you know, like, it's super late anyway. And the bus wasn't there, so it was gonna be super late. So basically, he told the girl, well, if your parents aren't gonna pick you up anymore, I got a buddy of mine who's gonna pick me up anyway, but since I'm staying, he could pick you up. And I'm all like, you didn't even ask me. And he's like, yeah, but you were gonna come pick me up anyway, though. I'm like, yeah, I was gonna pick you up, not this bitch I don't even know, right? And he's like, I already told her that you were gonna pick her up. And I'm all like, you motherfucker. And also, wait, I'm like, wait, why are you making promises to other chicks when you with your childhood friend? Like, what the fuck is this shit all about, right? You fucking making a harem or something? And he's like, no, it's just that, like, you know, like, I kind of owe this girl. She kind of, like, helped me study and shit like that. I'm like, dude, you sound like you making, like, a goddamn harem. Like, this girl is, like, your classmate, and then you met your childhood friend on your fucking field trip and shit. What next? Are you gonna, like, fucking, like, meet up with, like, this idol bitch, and turns out that you guys also know each other or something? Is that what's gonna happen, you know? Because that's what it fucking sounds like you're doing, and I want no part of this. Because I'm not being that jackass in a Dane sim who is, like, the male best friend for, like, the harem lead who, like, doesn't get a girl. I'm not being that guy, right? Like, if you're the harem lead, that makes me the best friend of the harem lead who doesn't get a girl. And he's like, no, there's nothing like that. It's nothing like that. It's just that, like, I've already promised her that you're gonna pick her up. And like I said, she's a good classmate of mine. So I already promised her that you're gonna pick her up. I'm like, you motherfucker. But fine, whatever. I'm going, I guess. I'm fucking going, you know? Whatever. So, kind of pissed off at this point. But, like, Anyway, I guess I asked him now at this point. I was like, okay, cool. So, like, how are things going with your childhood friend? And he's like, oh my god, it's so great. Like, we're catching up and shit. And, you know, like, turns out we still have, like, a lot in common and crap, you know? And I'm like, okay, that's cool. That's cool. And he's like, oh, anyway, I gotta go. So, like, go and, like, pick her up, right? And then, like, he gave me, like, her information, his classmates' information and shit. And then he also gave her my phone number. So that way she could, like, call me if, like, she needs to tell me something or something. So anyway, I leave my house, apartment. I leave my apartment complex, and I go and drive. Again, it's an hour and a half, right? So it's 8 o'clock when I left. So when I got there, it was like 9:30 to 10 o'clock ish, because traffic and whatever, right? So I make it over to the bus station. It's nighttime by now. It's super nighttime by now. I'm the only guy there, right? It's just me. And I'm like, am I at the right place? Because, you know, like, if I'm being called to go pick up somebody, I would expect that I'm not the only person picking somebody up. So, like, you know, somebody else probably would be getting their friends to pick them up too, right? So, like, why is my car the only one there? And I'm like, this has got to be the right place, though. So, like, I found, like, a security officer or some shit. It's like, hey, I'm here picking up for, like, this bus or whatever. And he told me, no, you're at the right place. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Because, like, you know, it just looks like I'm, like, the only person here. And he goes, oh, yeah, like, yeah, what do you know? Like, maybe you are the only person here. Whatever. But he told me that, like, that is where the bus was going to go, though. So, like, yeah, so, like, I just, like, ended up, staying, Kitsune says, you should have been a jackass, but the NTR one. Katami says yes, and she's going to appreciate him for being able to arrange a ride, not you, the driver. But yeah, anyway, I was at the right place, and security officer's like, yeah, so I guess you're just waiting, whatever. So anyway, I go back to my car, and, this would be the start of, like, a very long day. This is be the start. So, again, I'm already kind of miffed because I've been driving for already an hour and a half to get to this bus stop station. And the thing is that, like, to be fair, I kind of already didn't want to do it in the first place because I already knew it was like an hour and a half drive. But I was doing it for my friend because he said, like, even though his parents were going to drop him off, his parents were not going to, like, pick him up or whatever like that. You know, whatever. I'm like, fine, I'll do it, you know. And, also, like I said before, I was the only one in our circle of friends, that, like, had a car. That no one else in my circle of friends had a car and shit. My close circle of friends. Like, obviously, I had friends that had cars, but, like, they're not within, like, my inner circle. They're not within, like, my super friends. They're, like, acquaintances. You guys know what I mean. But anyway, I've been already driving for an hour and a half. It's, like, 2 hours now. And, you know, I'm just in my car. And, well, that's when I bust out, you know, the book. You know, that's when I bust this shit out and, start listening to music, right? So, like, I just flipped through it, you know, listen to some whatever anime thing that I was, like, watching at the time. Which, Bleach, by the way, I had, like, the whole, like, Bleach soundtrack at the time. So, like, Bleach and other anime harem shit. Nagima. I had, like, Nagima music. I had, like, Nagima soundtracks, as well as Mahou Shoujo Lyoko Nanaha, and I just had whatever. I just had so much. So, like, I just popped it in, listened to a whole track, pop it out. I also... So, here's the thing. This may sound weird to you guys, but also, I had audio dramas, too. You guys know what audio dramas is, right? Like, it's almost like ASMR kind of or something, but, like, that's like when, like, an anime gets super popular enough that they actually have audio dramas of that anime. And, like, it's almost like having, like, an extra anime episode, except you listen to it, though. You listen to the anime episode rather than watch it. So it's really more about kind of, like, having headphones on and, like, listening to, like, the surround sound and shit. Because I had Mahou Shoujo Lyoko Nanaha audio dramas, as well as Nagima audio dramas, too, on that CD thing. So, again, it's kind of cool, because this is before smartphones were much more popular. Because I still had a flip phone. So, like, smartphone was not an option for me. I had a flip phone, back in the day. So, I couldn't really look up the internet or anything. So, anyway, the audio dramas definitely helped me out, you know, just like kill time and shit. So, you know, time is passing by. Time is passing by. Time is passing by. It's midnight. It's midnight. And I'm sitting here going, what? And I'm like looking around. There's one other car. So finally, there's like one other car. This other car showed up at 11 o'clock. This other car showed up at 11 o'clock. It's midnight now, and me and the other car are still here. And I'm like, what the fuck? Where is this bus? Like, I left the house at 8, okay? I left the house at 8 o'clock, and I'm like, it's just me. And then, like, there's the other car, so it's just us two. And I'm like, this bus is, like, nowhere to be found. Like, where the hell is this? And, like, I don't want to drive back home because, like, what if the bus comes back and crap, you know? So I was like, what the hell? You know? And, like, and the thing is that, like, I don't have this girl's number. I have my friend's number, but I don't have this girl's number. My friend gave her my number so she could call me, but then, like, I don't have her number, so, like, I can't really call her and, like, ask her what's up or anything. So I'm all like, what the hell? And, like, I didn't want to go back home because since it's an hour-and-a-half drive, it's like, what if the bus comes back within that hour and a half? Now I gotta drive back, you know? That's 3 hours. That's a 3-hour drive back and forward, basically. That's 3 hours that's just 3 hours of driving. So, like, I can't leave. Can I? So, like, you know, I'm just sitting there. And, again, like, I should have left a long time ago. But, you know, me being the fucking nice guy that I am, I had to stay there because I just didn't want to leave. So, I got hungry. So, like, I just went and got, like, McDonald's that was, like, somewhere, like, nearby. I ate my goddamn food. And, like, I took my time eating, you know, because, like, I figured this girl would call me or whatever like that. So, like, if she called me, once again, I went to, like, a nearby McDonald's. So, like, I could just, like, go back in, like, 5 minutes or whatever. I eat, and I take my time. So, been like 40 minutes. I took my time eating that McDonald's meal for, like, 40 minutes. Still no call. Still no call. And I'm like, okay. Right? I'm gonna just kill some time again. I mean, I should have, like, taken, like, a fucking nap or something, but, like, I was wide awake, though. I went driving around the goddamn neighborhoods in that area just to look at houses, basically. I was looking at houses, and, like, I'm just getting kind of annoyed at this point. And I remember doing some stupid-ass shit. Like, I was looking at the houses, and then, like, there was, like, a park nearby. I got out of my car. I jogged around that park at, like, fucking 1 a.m., by the way. I must look like a goddamn serial killer. I'm, like, jogging around this park at, like, 1 a.m. and shit. And then I remember I went in the middle of the park, and I screamed. Like, ah! I just screamed for, like, a good 5 minutes. And I'm like, man, if there was, like, a cop around, like, they would think I'm either crazy or drunk or something, you know? But I haven't been drinking. I just ate McDonald's or whatever. But, like, I jogged, I screamed, went back in my car. I went back to the bus station. It is now 2 a.m. It is now 1:30 a.m. to 2 a.m. Still no bus. And the second car that was already there, they left, right? They weren't there no more. It's just me. And I'm like, okay. I went to the security officer box because, like, they have at least somebody in a security officer box, like, 24 hours a day. Like, you know, like, somebody's there in the morning, someone's there in the afternoon, someone's there late at night or whatever. So, like, I went there and I asked him, like, hey, did any bus show up, like, in the last hour or two? And he was like, no bus. And then I asked him, like, I'm here to pick somebody up, but, like, I just gotta ask, though. Just so you know I'm not crazy, but, like, there was already another car here, right? Like, did they leave? And it's like, oh, yeah, like, I saw that car. Yeah, like, there was a car here, and then that person just left. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then, like, I'm just there. It's 2 fucking a.m. And then he asked me, and he's like, what bus are you waiting for? And then I told him I'm waiting for this bus. It's like A19320, some shit like that. And he goes, oh, yeah, I see that bus. Yeah, like, it says here it's still in transit. But, like, he says, like, that technically couldn't mean anything, though. Like, being in transit it doesn't really tell them like what the location is. Like, it's not like they had like a GPS system on it or something, I guess. I don't really know. But like, in transit just means that like the last time that the person who drove that bus made contact, they pushed a button that says in transit. Like, you know, again, it doesn't really mean anything. But at the very least, it kind of tells me that like they're driving, I guess. I don't really know. Anyway, I went back to my car and I listened to more audio dramas. I listened to the full Negima. I listened to the full Negima soundtrack, the full Negima audio dramas. And, like, Negima actually has a lot of audio dramas. It's almost like 2 hours. 2 hours worth of, like, fake anime episodes, basically. The thing is, the audio drama is actually canon. So, that was kind of fun. So, I just listened to them. It is like 3:30 a.m. And, I'm, like, just sitting there listening, whatever, like that. And then, like, I get a call on my phone. And it's from a number I don't recognize. I'm like, oh my god, is it her? Is it this girl? So I pick up the phone, and she's all like, oh my god, like, is this Tetsamaru? I'm like, yeah. And she goes, oh, okay, cool, cool. Are you still waiting for me at, like, the bus stop? I'm like, yeah. I fucking left my house at 8 o'clock because this dumbass, and, like, that is the word I use. Like, I'm not playing that up for you guys. Like, that's how I talk, so. I did say it that way. I said it in that exact way. I said because my dumbass friend told me to come pick him up at 8 o'clock or whatever. And she's like, wait, did he actually tell you to come leave your house at 8? I'm like, yeah? And she's like, why would he do that? Because, like, 8 o'clock was when we left, like, the city. And I'm like, what? And she's like, yeah, like, we left the other city, like, at 8 o'clock. So why would he tell you to leave your place at 8 o'clock? I'm like, why would he? Why would he do that? Right? So basically, that's like, he did the equivalent, right? Like, this is what he did. He did the equivalent of basically someone being in, like, New York City. That's not where they went to, by the way. But, like, I forget where they went. He did the equivalent of, like, somebody being in New York City and you were gonna pick them back up, like, at the airport or something. But the thing is that they told you to go to the airport when they got on their plane at 8 o'clock, though. Meaning that the plane would have to get to your place, like, in, like, maybe, like, you know, like, in like, a few hours. But, you know, like, maybe, like, it takes you, like, maybe, like, 30 minutes to get to your airport or something. Like, basically, my friend told me to leave my place to go pick him up, even though the bus was still actually in the other goddamn city. Like, they haven't even fucking left yet. That's when they were going to leave. And I'm like, what? But I've been here for, like, half a day at this point, you know? And she's like, I'm sorry. And I'm like, okay, cool. So where the fuck are you guys now? And she's like, well, I don't really know, because, like, all I see is dirt. I just see, like, road and dirt. I'm like, okay, I guess that's... But, like, can I get, like, an ETA? You guys gonna be here soon or something? And she's like, I don't know. I'm like, can you ask somebody? What do you mean you don't know? Like, just ask somebody. And she's like, okay, hold on, let me ask around. And, like, I'm, like, overhearing. I'm getting like the full spectrum of, like, like, hours of, like, when they would make it back to the main city. Like, I'm getting, like, 3 hours, I'm getting 10 hours, I'm getting 1 hour, I'm getting half an hour, I'm getting 3, 4, 5, like, nobody knows what the fuck that they're getting back, right? And, like, then she asked the bus driver or whatever, and the bus driver's like, I don't fucking know. And like, that's what I heard, like, he actually said, I don't fucking know. And I'm like, oh my god. And then she sat back down, and then, she was all like, I don't think anybody knows. I'm like, you think? I overheard all that. Nobody fucking knows. And I'm like, doesn't anybody have, like, a fucking smartphone with a GPS on it or some shit like that? And then, like, she's like, I don't know. I'm like, can you ask? So then, like, she like, kind of basically just, like, shouted it out to the whole bus. Like, hey, does anybody have, like, a GPS or some shit like that? And, turns out no one did. Everybody in that bus had, like, either, like, a flip phone, or they didn't have a phone at all, basically. Nobody in that bus had a smartphone. Like a touchscreen smartphone. Nobody had any of that fancy shit, you know? And I'm all like, are you kidding me? So she's like, yeah, I don't know. I don't fucking know. I'm like, okay. So how's about this? I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna go home, and you call me. You just fucking call me, when like you actually like are about to get to the bus station or whatever like that. And she goes, okay, that sounds fine. I'm sorry. I'm like, no, it's cool. It's not your fault. It's my dumbass friend's fault. I'm gonna fucking kill him just because he didn't want to fucking go because he met his childhood friend who, like, you know, who he wants to fucking bang and shit. Which I'm pretty sure she doesn't even see him that way, but whatever. Like, he think he's gonna get that ass and shit. And then she's all like, what childhood friend? I'm like, you don't know? And she's like, I don't even know why he didn't want to go home. I'm like, well, sister, I got time. Let me tell you more about this. So I proceeded to tell her the whole story about how, like, I was originally going to, like, pick him up and shit. And like, how he decided that he was, like, not gonna come home, which is why he called me in the first place, to tell me to pick you up, because he met his childhood friend at your guys' fucking field trip or whatever like that he hung out with. And he even told me that he even ditched her class just to hang out with her. And she was all like, oh, I thought he seemed like he was missing. Because, like, I guess apparently he was also, like, one of the loud students, so, like, it's pretty noticeable when, like, he's not there. Because, like, I guess he's also, like, the jokester. So he's always the one talking and, like, making noises and shit. So if you don't hear anything from him, or if the class is quiet, he's probably not there. So she noticed that, she said. But she didn't really want to say anything because, like, the peace and quiet was nice, she said. But yeah, apparently he must have spent the entire field trip just ditching class just to hang out with his childhood friend and shit, you know? And then, like, I literally told her, like, basically the entire thing of what he told me about his childhood friend. It's like, oh my god, like, she grew up so well. Again, we met in kindergarten, and then, like, we moved away from each other, but we promised. Okay, no. This is what he told me, which I don't even know if it's true, even now, because it sounds like some anime harem, anime bullshit, right? No. This is what he told me. We met in kindergarten, and, like, she was playing in the sandbox, and she, like, didn't really seem like she had no friends or some shit like that. And, like, I didn't really have any friends. So, like, I went up to her and talked to her, and then, like, we played in the sandbox or something. And then, like, after that day, we played with each other, like, every day or something. And then, like, one day we had to move away or something. And then, like, we fucking pinky swore that, like, we would meet up again, like, in the future or something. And I'm like, there's no way all that happened. There's no way all of that bullshit happened when you're in kindergarten that you remember that vividly well. And he's like, he swears to me that's what happened. And now that they're meeting again, you know, like, in fucking, like, college age, he's like, oh my god, like, it's fucking, this is so real right now. This is fate, you know, this was, like, meant to happen and shit. And I'm like, there's no way what you're saying is true. There's no way. And, like, when I told his classmate this, you know, I keep saying her. We need to give her a name. For the sake of the end of this rant, let's call her fucking, let's call her Mary. Let's call her Mary, right? Okay, so Mary, right? So Mary agreed with me. Mary was all like, wow, that sounds like some, like, Love Hina bullshit. I'm like, oh shit, you watch anime? And she's like, yeah, I watch anime. And I remember in Love Hina, like, Keitaru and Naru had that same kind of bullshit promise too, back when they were kids. Did they also have, like, a fucking first kiss too? And I'm all like, I don't know, he didn't tell me if they had a first kiss, but he said they did pinky swear that they were, like, meet each other again in the future. And, like, we both started cracking up, like, just the absurdity of this, because, like, I mean, I guess it must be true, because, like, I feel like my friend wouldn't simp that hard for, like, any random girl that he would meet in the other city, unless he really was his childhood friend or something. At least that's what I think. Like, I feel like he wouldn't simp that hard for a stranger. So, like, he must have at least been telling the truth that, like, it must have been his childhood friend or something. At least, maybe he was telling the truth for that. But anyway, like, Yeah, so that's why he didn't want to, like, and then I'm telling your story again. So anyway, that's why he didn't want to come back home, and he stayed there, and then, like, I guess he told you that I would pick you up. I don't know what he told you, but he told me to leave already at 8 o'clock, so, like, I was already driving, but then, like, he dropped the bomb, though. He dropped the bomb on me that I wasn't gonna pick him up, and I was picking you up, Mary. So, like, I was already kind of pissed off when you told me that in the first place, but, like, since I was already driving, I decided I was going to see this through. So I have been waiting at this bus station location since 9:30, and now it's like 4 a.m. It's like 4 a.m. in the morning, and this bus is still not here. And you have no idea when this bus will be here, because you don't really have any landmarks to, like, look at and shit like that. And she's like, yeah, wow. Your friend sound like a dumbass. But then again, he was a dumbass in class too, though. So I guess I shouldn't be surprised. And then I asked her, like, so, like, why'd you accept this anyway? Like, no, like, why'd you let him give you a ride? And then that's when she told me, well, I'm sure he already told you, but, like, my parents are gonna pick me up, but they decided they didn't want to anymore. And that's why she needed a ride. But also, like, she wasn't sure when they would get back there anyway, but she still didn't want to, like, go for a taxi or something. So, because taxis are expensive. This is before Uber. This is before Uber pickup and shit. So, like, you know, taxi was the only way to, like, get around anywhere if you need, like, a stranger to drop you off, right? So, you know, she was happy to accept a ride, and it's from her dumbass classmate, so that she's like, you know, like, he seems like an okay guy, so that's why she accepted it. But she didn't know that I was waiting at the bus station this whole time, though. Like, she thought I was at home. That's what she thought, you know? And I'm like, no, I've been here. Girl, I've been here this entire fucking time. And I'm just like, I'm really sorry. Your friend's a dumbass. I'm like, he is a dumbass. And that's when I told her, like, so since you have no idea, I'm just gonna go home, and you just call me when you think the bus is getting close to the station. She goes, that sounds great. That sounds great. And during this time, I'm getting a little bit tired, whatever. And I consider myself a safe-ish driver, even though I'm Asian. So, like, conversation over, by the way. So, like, I hung up the phone. We sit by to each other, whatever. So, like, I don't like to drive when I'm tired, because it's very dangerous. And also remember, it's an hour and a half, by the way, guys. It's an hour and 30 minutes to get to this bus station to where I live. So an hour and a half is a long time to be driving when you're tired. And I'm gonna be real with you guys. I've had some close calls. Like, I want to say that there were probably, like, maybe a dozen times, which is a dozen times already too many, where, like, I deserved to get into a car accident. I'm lucky, like, no, really, I'm lucky that, like, I've driven this long, and I have not been in a single car accident. I'm really lucky. Because, like, you know, some people get into a car accident within their first year of getting their license, you know? Like, a lot of people get into a car accident when they're 16 years old. I've been driving, you know, for, like, 16 years of my life. 15 to 16 years of my life, and I have not been in a single car accident. I've never hit anybody. I've never had them... Like, I've never been, like, I mean, I rear-ended somebody, but, like, I wouldn't call that a car accident, though. Like, a car accident is a little, like, you know, like, you smash into somebody. A car accident is, like, when your car flips over, you know, and shit like that. Like, I've never been in that, you know? So, like, I should count my lucky stars, you know? But anyway, I have had some close calls where, like, I should have been in a car accident, so I wasn't gonna risk it. It's not like I was in a hurry. So I went to sleep. I mean, the idea was, like, I was gonna, like, take a nap. I was gonna take a nap, you know, in my car. But I didn't really take a nap, though. It was, like, a long sleep. So I went to sleep. By this time, it's, like, 4:30. It was, like, 4:30 a.m. when, like, I hung up with Mary, and I decided I was gonna go home, but it was super early in the morning, and I was tired, so I tried to take a nap. And since I fell asleep and not took a nap, by the time I woke up again, it was like, I want to say it was like 12:30. It was like 12:30 to like 1 p.m. or something like that, right? And in the time that I went to sleep, it snowed. And I mean, like, blizzard. I was, like, there was snow, blizzard, fucking Paladon and shit like that. That happened in the car when I was sleeping. Because, like, snow is quiet. I didn't know that. Did you guys know that snow has sound dampening properties? Did you guys know that? Like, there's a reason why it's eerie to go through a forest when there's snow. So, like, snow is filled with a lot of little air pockets and shit. And it's air pockets on air pockets on air pockets. And the crystalline nature of the ice crystals in snow, it traps sound. So snow makes everything super quiet. Fun fact for you. But anyway, I didn't hear anything. I just fell asleep and shit. When I woke up, it was like a winter wonderland, right? Winter wonderland. Didn't she see shit? My car had like, I don't know, 3 inches? 3 to 4 inches of snow on it. I try and like wipe it and shit like that. And then I tried to see if I could like drive out of the bus station, because the entire time was like, the entire time I was gonna go home anyway. So, the bus station area was snowed in. I couldn't leave. There was ice. Like, not snow. There was like a blockade of ice around this bus station. Alright? I was trapped. I was full on trapped. I couldn't go anywhere. And I was like, are you joking me? And like, there was like construction equipment that they were trying to use to like get rid of like the ice blockade and shit. Because here's what happened. So there was snow, right? There was snow. But then like, I guess like near the entrance slash exit of like the bus station, the snow got compacted or something. So the snow became ice. And like, then like the ice became more ice as more snow got compacted or something. Because I guess because of air pressure? I don't really know what the whole story was. So like, there was like ice blocks. Like, we were like in a goddamn igloo basically around the edge. So like, nobody could get in, nobody could get out. Unless you want to like fucking try and like walk out. But like I said though, like, there was snow everywhere. And like, I wasn't fucking dressed to fucking trudge along in the goddamn blizzard. So like, okay, whatever. So like, I was talking to like the security officers. I'm like, so like, do we have like an ETA on like when we can get out? Because my car is parked here. And he's like, oh shit, man, your car's here? I'm like, yeah. And he's like, how far do you live? I'm like, dude, to drive here is an hour and a half. There's no way I'm walking back home. And he's like, dude, I don't think we're breaking this ice until the end of the day. And I'm like, what? And he's like, yeah, like the ice goes, so like the ice is blockading the exits and shit like a goddamn dam. But the roads though, the roads were also like iced over. So like, it was considered too dangerous to even drive on the road as well, leading up to that area. So like, you couldn't drive anyway until like they were trying to like get rid of it and shit. Like, they were just trying to do maintenance and crap. So like, I was trapped. I couldn't call anybody to pick me up because you couldn't even get in the first place. So I'm just there. So I'm like, okay, fine. Okay, that's cool. So there, like I said, there's a McDonald's nearby. So I walked my ass to that McDonald's to get something to eat. It's like a 5-minute drive, but since I had to walk there, it was like a 15-minute walk. But hell, I'm not going anywhere, right? So like, yeah, so got McDonald's, warmed up a bit, walked back to my fucking car, and I'm like, what am I doing? Like, what is there to even do? So like, I talked to the security officer again. I'm like, hey, dude, so like, I'm legit, like, I'm like stranded or something. Like, is there anything you guys can do for me or something? And he's all like, not really. Because he was trapped there. The security officer was also trapped there too, by the way. The security officer said the only thing that he could offer me was like a key card. A key card that like lets you into like the break rooms and like lets you into like the facilities and shit. Like an employee. And like he talked to his manager to make sure like it was okay. Like He's like, hey boss, so like there's a guy here, and like he's trapped because he was waiting for a bus to pick up or whatever. But since we're snowed in, he can't really go anywhere. So like, can I give him like a key card or something? And he's like, yeah, sure, but make him sign like a waiver or something. So like, they faxed him. Fax machines were still used during this time. So like his boss sent him like a fax thing that printed on his printer, and then like I had to sign a waiver saying that like since I'm not actually an employee, that like if I get injured like while on their facilities, it's like not their fault, and then like I can't sue them and shit. So I'm like, yeah, sure, yeah, I'll sign it, whatever. And then he gave me a key card, and then like, you know, like I better walk around shit. I checked out the break room, then like coffee machine and crap, you know, like that. Place was empty though. Like, it was a ghost town. There was nobody there because I guess, so like I said, so when I went to sleep, it was 4:30 a.m., right? So there was nobody working at that bus station at the time because that's like early in the morning, you know? Like the only person there was the security officer. So like, from what I understand from listening to the news on the radio, I think it started snowing at around like 7 a.m. or something. And then like, since the snow was piling on, a lot of people were being told not to come to work. So like, the only people that were there was the construction people. Construction people that didn't even work at that bus station. They were like just snow people. They're like snow construction people that came from another company. And then it was just the security officer. So it was like me and the security officer were like the only two people at that facility, at that bus station facility. And then like, if you walk like another 10 minutes, then that's where the construction people were, who were like chiseling. They're fucking like, they got like the jackhammer and shit. They were literally trying to like drill in this goddamn compacted ice. And I'm all like, oh yeah, we stranded, man. Like, we stranded. I mean, I wasn't starving or anything because like I said, like we had food. We had food, you know, we had food, there was a McDonald's nearby. There's also like an Applebee's nearby too, but Applebee's was kind of expensive. I mean, like, it's not expensive, but I just, like, I'm cheap. So, like, I would rather eat at McDonald's than Applebee's, you know, whatever. So, it's not like we were starving or anything, but it just kind of sucked that, like, I couldn't really go anywhere. I mean, technically, I could go somewhere if I wanted to, like, fucking walk it, but yeah, that just wasn't an option. And like I said before, the roads were iced over for a while, so, like, if I wanted to get into a part of the city that was, like, not ice over, or that was, like, safe to drive on, I would need to walk for, like, an hour. In the snow. I'm not doing that. I wasn't gonna do that. So I'm like, yeah, this is my life. Why I'm here. I never really talked to the security officer. He just kind of like did his own thing. I think he slept. I actually think he legit just slept in like his box office or some shit like that. Like that's all he did. So like, it was just me. I just had myself. I had myself to like occupy my time with. So like, I hung around the break room. I walked around and shit, you know, and I found like a boombox, like a speaker boombox, you know. And it was like one of the fancy ones that had like a cassette player as well as like a CD top or something. And of course it has like audio out jack for like earbuds and shit, you know? Like a fancy, like a little fancy. Fancy? I mean, fancy for the time, I guess. But yeah, it was pretty cool, so I'm like, whatever. They also had beds too. They actually had like legit beds there. So like, since this bus station was so out of the way, I guess they had the beds there for people to sleep in. Just in case like some people like were just too tired to like try and like drive home and shit. So yeah, I was like, hey, there's a bed here for me to sleep in if I need it, I guess. I walked around and I actually took the speaker boombox with me. I took it with me to my car, just for whatever. And then like, I kind of hung around in my car for a little bit. Not that I had any reason to, but like, I guess it was just comfortable for me, I guess. So like, I reclined. I reclined back my car seat, and then like I just kind of like sat in there, and you know, I just kind of just like stared, stared at the ceiling. What am I doing? Just kind of just thinking. Also, Also, you guys are probably gonna be asking me now, like, was it even cold or something? I'm like, yeah, it was cold. It was cold, but like, I wasn't freezing though. Like, I wasn't like fucking cabin fever, you know, like snowed in or anything. So like, that's why I was able to sit in my car and not be like fucking frozen like a popsicle or anything. So like, that's why I found it kind of comfortable actually. It was strangely comfortable actually to be in my car. If I was cold, again, I would have just left for the facility in the first place. But yeah, so I just kind of just sat there. I had the boombox with me, so like I kind of just like listened to music on the boombox while like I just sat in my car and shit. Also, another question that you may have would be like, if they have actual beds like in the facility, then like if I was gonna listen to the boombox anyway, why not just sit in one of those beds? Those beds were kind of hard. It was kind of like cheap ass mattresses too. My car seat was actually more comfortable than those beds were. And like I said before, I wasn't really freezing or cold anyway in the first place. So that's why I found it somewhat comfortable to be in my car. Obviously I didn't have the engine running, by the way, because that'd be a waste of gas. So like, it was just my car normally. If I ever were to get cold, I would leave the car, but I was totally fine though. Well, yeah. I'm also a person too that I would rather be cold rather than be hot. So like, the cold temperature was at a comfortable temperature for me to sit in my car. But then again, I also like it cold too. Like, I crank up my AC like during the summer shit. So like, I'm a fucking Eskimo, you know? But anyway, I'm just in there, and that's when I had the brilliant idea of this, which brings me to why I'm ranting about this. So, I had all the Kotoko CDs that I burned on my in my CD pack, you know? Like, I had all the Kotoko CDs and shit. And I'm all like, you know what? I wonder how long it would take me to listen to all the CDs, you know? How long would it take me to listen to all the Kotoko CDs? So that's what I decided to do. So, one CD after another. CD. Go through a whole CD, and then when it loops or something, put in the other CD. Put in the other CD. Put in the other CD, you know? And, like, literally, like, after 6 hours, I'm still listening to new music, you know? And I'm like, God, Kotoko sang so much music, you know? And Kotoko she was keeping me sane. This awesome Seiryu was keeping me sane through my goddamn isolation. You know? And it was quiet. Like, if I turned off the music, guys, you wouldn't be able to hear anything. It was dead silent, you know? So I'm just listening to music. Anytime I got hungry, I would walk over to McDonald's and get something to eat. And then I just go back to my car. Because once again, there's nothing really for me in the facility. And I found my car comfortable. That's why I sat in the car. And I'm just like listening. Because at this point, I had already, prior to that, listened to all my Negima soundtracks. And I already listened to all my Mahalo Shoujo Luna soundtracks and shit. And all my other anime shit. So I had all the Kotoko CDs listened to and shit, you know? So, like, I'm here just sitting in my car listening to all this music, and I'm just sitting here being surprised at how much she actually sang. And then I get another call from Mary again, and at this point, it is 6 o'clock p.m. now. 6 o'clock p.m. And I want to remind you guys that I left my apartment yesterday at 8 p.m. I left my apartment at 8 p.m. yesterday, and it is now 6 p.m. the day after. So that's been 22 hours. I've spent 22 hours not at home, but also not on a road trip, because I spend most of that time stuck at a fucking bus station. So she gave me a call, like 6 p.m., and then she's all like, hey, so like, I think you could leave now, to go to the bus station, because, like, I think we're almost there. But, like, I think, because, like, not even the bus driver knows. But I'm starting to see the city, though. Like, she says she sees the, city and crap. I'm like, oh, that's cool. Well, I'm already here. And she's like, wait, why are you already there? And I'm like, because I never left. And she's like, what? Wait, why did you never leave? You said you were gonna leave. And also, like, it's been, like, yesterday. So like, like you should have left. And I'm like, no, but like it snowed though, and that's why I never left. And then she's like, why did you never leave though? And I'm like, well, first off, I was tired, so I went to sleep. Second of all, I'm iced in, not snowed in. I'm iced in. And she's like, what? And I'm like, yeah, like I'm boxed in. I literally cannot leave this bus station. No one can come in and out. And then she was like, wait, say that again? I'm like, yeah, no one can come in and out of this bus station. And she's like, wait, if no one can come in, then what the fuck is gonna happen to me? I'm like, oh shit. That's a good question. I don't know. And then like they're driving, and like we have each other, like on phone the whole time because like what else are we gonna do, And we're just talking about like random ass shit. But then like she's saying that like, wow, like I see like more snow now. Like the further in she got into the city, the more snow that like she started seeing. And she's like, wow, like it looks like it really got packed in like from yesterday. And I'm like, yeah, like according to the news, it started snowing like at around like 6:30 or 7 o'clock a.m. or some shit like that. And I went to sleep at 4:30 a.m. after I hung up on the phone with you because like I was gonna drive home, except I got tired, so I went to sleep. And as we're talking, she said that her bus stopped, and I'm like, what's going on now? And she said that like cars can't even get in the city because the roads were iced over. And I'm like, you gotta be shitting me. And she's like, no, the bus has stopped and we can't go anywhere. Like they have the roads blocked actually because they have construction vehicles. Like they have a flamethrower. They literally have like a flamethrower trying to like melt the ice because like there's like ice cubes. There's like not snow, but there's ice cubes, ice chunks like everywhere, and they're trying to like fucking flamethrower everything, but it's not really helping because like anytime they melt the snow and ice, it's just refreezing back to water anyway. So like they're just not even sure what to do, or if they just want to wait till like the snow goes away. But if they did that, it would literally take like fucking days, maybe even weeks for the snow to finally go away. And I'm like, no, there's no way I'm being stranded for like fucking days. There's no way I'm letting that happen to me. And she's like, yeah, I don't know. So like, she said that like they had to like escort everybody out of the bus because they needed like the police to like check on all the cars and shit, or whatever like that. So everybody got out of the bus. They got like their bus checked over for like, I assume like illegal shit or something like that. I don't really know. And then they were given like an estimated time on like when the bus would be allowed to try and like drive over to the station and crap. And according to the police officer that she was talking to, they still had like a few hours left to even they got to this station. So I'm like, hours? Are you kidding me? You're that far away from the station? Like, I guess, but not that it matters because people couldn't come into the station that I was at in the first place. So no way in, no way out. I'm on a fucking island basically. I'm on an island and I was stranded and shit. And I'm like, wow, it's a good thing I'm not fucking starving to death. So by the time that we got finished talking, it was 8 o'clock p.m. And at that point, that means that I had left the house 24 hours ago. So I was not in my house for a whole day. But not like I did anything fun with my time. I was just listening to goddamn music the entire time because I couldn't do anything else, right? And this was before I had a smartphone, so I had a flip phone, I had like a Verizon. No, I had T-Mobile. I had a T-Mobile generic ass flip phone. The only game that I had on my flip phone was Snake. I mean, Snake's a pretty good game, right, guys? Could you play Snake for hours? I don't know if I could play Snake for hours, right? But hey, I heard it's a pretty. I actually played it though. I was that bored. I was so bored. I actually played Snake for like I think 30 minutes before like I got bored again. I still had tracks off the Kotoko to listen to. So, like I just went back to kind of like listening to that, for like whatever reason. After that, I got hungry. I went back to I basically had McDonald's. I just had McDonald's like night and day. That's all I was doing. So at this point, it's been past 24 hours now. It is 10:30. It was like 10:30 p.m. So now it's been like 26 to 27 hours, like that I haven't been home now. Just been stranded at this bus station, right? And like I went back to the facility to like listen to the radio because I couldn't exactly take the radio with me, right? So I went back to the bus station to like listen to the radio, and the radio was saying that like on the edges of town there's like ice everywhere, but like they're trying to get to like the main station though. They're trying to get to like the main roads and stuff, and they're trying to like get rid of all the ice and shit, and they're making headway. They said they're like, oh, like maybe like in like the next hour, the roads outside the city will be good to drive on again for like truck drivers to actually like get through and crap, you know. I'm like, oh, that's cool, that's cool. So like I waited like another hour, and like it's like 11:30. Yatami says you should have charged your friend from the minute you leave your house. Kitsune says that reminds me there was a Doom game for old phones. It was more like a dungeon crawler than FPS. Yeah, I guess that would make sense for an old phone like that. But anyway, at this point, it's like 11:30 p.m. at night, and I'm just here listening to the radio now. And the radio said, oh, like all the roads are opened up again. But like not all the roads though, just the roads outside the city. The roads in the city was still iced in. You know, there's still like a lot of places that you couldn't go through, you know. But at the very least, the outside, the roads leading outside the city were like free of ice now. And again, they had flamethrowers. They were like torching. They were like literally torching everything, just to get the ice like out of there and shit. And it was only, they opened it like the first hour only to like semi trucks. You know, the ones that had to do shipping and shit. They opened it up first for like an hour to semi-trucks, and buses, they counted. Like, if you were in a bus, that counted, I guess, as like shipping. So buses were also able to travel too with the semi-trucks. So Mary, who has been waiting now for 4 hours outside the city. So basically, so for commendation, right? So this is what Mary was telling me. So they were escorted out the bus because they couldn't like drive anymore. And then they were like at a, I don't know what to call it. Almost like a military base, but not really. It was like kind of like a research facility. They were at a research facility that was kind of like technically outside the city limits or something. And the research facility was accepting in refugees from those that couldn't get in the city. So that's where she hung out, basically, for like 4 hours, waiting for like to be told that they could get on the bus again and shit. So like they were like, I remember her telling me that like they were at a facility for like cancer research or something. I don't really know, but yeah, like they were just there for like 4 hours, and like some people took a nap, some people were just like talking for like 4 hours or whatever like that, you know. And you know, she like charged her phone or whatever like that, you know, because she was on the bus the whole time, because she had her phone turned off because like she wasn't sure whenever she would get a chance to charge her phone again or whatever. But if she was there, then like she actually took the time to like call her family and be like, hey, I'm okay, I'm at a research facility or whatever like that, and I can't get in the city right now, blah blah blah. Like she spent most of her 4 hours just talking to her friends and family, saying that she's safe and she's like outside the city or whatever like that. Anyway, after those 4 hours were up, which again, by this time it's 11:30 p.m. When they opened back up the roads again for the outside city limits, she told me, oh, like they're letting people back in now or people back out, and as long as you're a shipping truck, or like a freighter, they would let you in and out. And then like she said that buses counted towards that, so they were able to get back on the bus again, and then they were able to go to the station. And I'm like, oh shit, is the station open? So like, you know, like when she told me that, I went outside to check on the bus station, and the bus station, they were making headway through the snow and blockade that was on the outside, and they said that like they weren't quite through yet. It's not like 100% safe, but like it was gonna for tractors to drive over or whatever. So like another half hour for them to finish was the ETA. I'm like, oh, that's cool, I got time. And then the guy asked me, he's like, wait, how long have you been here? I'm like, dude, I've been here for like 30 hours. He's like, are you serious? I'm like, yeah, dude, I've been here for like 30 hours, man. Oh, wow, you know? So anyway, you know, I told the construction crew, and they were almost done, and if they're gonna be done in 30 minutes, I'd be okay with me, because the bus wouldn't get here for like another few hours anyway. So like, I had time, you know? And I went back to my car with the boombox, listening to more Kotoko music, right? I kid you not. by the time I got to the very last track, of the Kotoko music, I got a call from Mary saying that she was 10 minutes away from the bus station. And I was like, hallelujah! Holy shit! Like, oh my god, like, I listened to this whole Kotoko soundtrack for, like, you know, the 12, 11 hours or whatever like that, and I just finished it, and now she's telling me that they're almost there, you know? And I'm sure by then, the construction was over, you know? So, I'm gonna be able to fucking go home now, right? So anyway, the bus parks at the bus station stop, and I find Mary, right? And I'm like, I don't even know what this girl looks like. I don't even know what she looks like. So I'm like, hey, like, I see the bus has landed. I'm right here on my phone. I'm next to like a baby blue car, cause at the time, I had a baby blue car, cause I have a white car now, but I had like a baby blue car. Which, by the way, I know that sounds kind of gay, but like, it was great for picking up chicks though. Cause think about it, like anybody can have like a white or like a black car or something. White and black is like super common colors, but baby blue cars, not a whole lot of people got that exact color, you know. There's some dark blue cars, I guess, out there, and then there are green cars. But I had baby blue. I had a baby blue car. So it may sound gay, but trust me, guys, it was great for picking up chicks because like girls would tell me, "Oh my god, your car is so cute." And I could see it from far away. I'm like, yep. Really great, guys. If you want to pick up girls, here's my recommendation. Get like a cute colored car. Get like a pink car or like a red car or like, dude, sky blue. Get like a sky blue, baby blue car. You're pickup girls, man. You are pickup girls. Anyway, I'm like, I'm the only guy here with a cell phone. I just totally looked for that. And then, like, I met up with her. Dude, Mary was fucking cute. She was really cute, by the way. Like, I was expecting, like, just some, like, nerdy girl or whatever like that. She was really cute. Like, she was, like, for me, she was, like, about a 9 out of 10. That's how good looking she was. She was a 9 out of 10 for me. Anyway, you know, like, we met up, I helped her, picked up her, suitcase and shit, put it in my trunk and shit, and I'm like, oh my god, I can finally fucking drive now, right? Anyway, and then, like, I still had the ID badge card with me, so, like, I might as well use it, right? So I'm like, hey, like, it's fucking, like, 1 a.m. At this point, it was 1 a.m., guys. It was 1 a.m., I'm like, hey, if you're not tired, you want to walk around the facility? And she's like, how'd you get that card? I'm like, oh, the security guard gave it to me. I'm like, she's like, why not? So, like, we made like a fucking mini date out of it. So, like, we walked around and shit, and I showed her the facility, and crap like that. And I'm like, yeah, there's also like McDonald's and Applebee's nearby, and that's kind of cool. Like, they're open 24 hours or whatever. I assume for the bus station. And she's like, oh, yeah, that's pretty cool, pretty cool. I'm like, cool. So, like, I go over to the security officer, who, at this point, has also been stranded. Remember, this security officer was also stranded there with me. I'm like, hey, so, like, I'm here to, like, return, like, the badge to you, because, like, I'm finally ready to leave. And he looked at me, like, surprised, and he's all like, you're leaving? How? And I'm like, well, they opened up the roads. See, the bus is here. And he's like, yeah, like, the entrance is opened up, but I don't think the exit's opened up. And I'm like, what? So like me and Mary, we run over to like where like the entrance, because okay, so technically the exit is what they opened up to, so that way buses can actually get in. But then the entrance though, where like that like leads into like this the actual like the entrance / exit, whatever, the entrance part that like leads the other way, that was still blocked off. Like, they still had construction people working on the actual entrance. The exit was opened up. So the exit, the outbound and inbound, the outbound exit was opened up for buses to land, but the entrance inbound was still closed up. And I'm like, no. So like, I talked to the construction people, and I'm like, hey, so like, I was just told that like, you guys are still working on this because the the outbound is like out, but I want to know when the inbound's gonna be open. And the guy looks at me and he's like, dude, I don't think like we're gonna be finished with this until like tomorrow. And then me and Mary, like, our jaws like dropped open. I'm like, dude, I've been here for like 1.5 days. I'm gonna be here for 2 days? And it was like, dude, ice, man. Snowed in ice, it sucks. So I was like, yeah. I'm like, okay then. Right. My life now. So anyway, I go back and like everyone is like still like at the bus area station. But like at this point though, like I think it's starting to click to everyone that like their ride pickups are not there to pick them up. Like no one realized I guess their class was full of dumbasses because nobody realized that like that like there was no car there other than like my car. Because people were now only starting to realize, they're like, hey, where's my family? How come they're not here to pick me up? Hey, where's my brother? My brother was supposed to pick me up. Where's my sister? Hey, how come my parents aren't here to pick me up? I'm like, do you guys not see the ice? So like, I had to explain to everybody. I had to tell them that like, it snowed since like yesterday and like the whole city got snowed in and like the city's infrastructure wasn't expecting like snow to be this high piled up and shit. And then in a lot of places were iced down because the snow compacted into ice and crap. So a lot of roads are blocked off, including the road that like led to the other inner parts of the city because the outbound was blocked off too. They already knew that part, but they thought the city was fine. But I was like, nope, the snow affected everything. So they all trapped here and shit. And they're all like, what? So I had to talk to the security officer, and he didn't really have enough badges to get to everyone, so like he only gave badges to like the teachers and like maybe like the senior classmate or something like that. And then like I got to keep my card. So basically the entire class, they got their suitcases and like I showed them where like the resting spot was. So like I showed them where like the break room was and I showed them where the beds were. So like basically they had to basically spend the rest of the night at that bus station facility. So like they all had to sleep in like the bunk bed because like it was like basically like almost like a sleep area room with like a bunch of bunk beds and shit. So like they divided like the rooms and shit. So like one room was for guys and one room was for girls, which makes sense, right? Because like like they didn't want people to be fucking having sex at this bus station or whatever, so yeah. Because it's super sexy, right? But yeah, anyway, like, I had to fucking sleep there. And I'm like, well, I guess I'm going back to my car. And then Mary was like, wait, you didn't sleep here? I'm like, no, I slept in my car because my car is actually super comfortable. And she goes, oh. And then, like, she, like, tried touching the bed. And she's like, oh my god, like, not only is this bed, like, ice cold, but this bed's, like, pretty hard. Like, the springs didn't have like a spring to it. It was almost like the springs didn't really give away. They like gave away by like maybe like half an inch or something. There wasn't much give. And she's like, oh my god, like how does your car feel? So like I brought it over to my car and she's like, oh my god, this car feels like so much more comfortable. I want to sleep here. I'm like, fine, whatever. So like basically Mary and I slept in my car since like my car was made way more comfortable than like the beds at like the bus station facility. So like before we went to sleep though, like I asked her if she was hungry and she was like, yeah, I'm a little hungry. So we walked over to McDonald's and then like we got something quick to eat and then we went back to my car and then we just like fucking slept in my car until like the morning. I think it was like 9:00 a.m. when we woke up. And again, at this point I had basically been there for around like almost 2 days. Like almost, it was like a day and 3/4 at that point. No, like a day and a half. Yeah, that's a day and a half actually. Because 8 p.m. to 8 p.m. 8 p.m. to 9 a.m. Yeah, that's a day and a half. That's a day and a half. So it's like 9:00 a.m. We woke up and still snow everywhere and shit like that. We went over to Applebee's to get breakfast because she didn't want to eat at McDonald's again. So I'm like, okay, whatever. So we got breakfast at Applebee's, and then like we met with the construction workers, and only then finally did they actually open up the inbound street to actually be opened up for traffic. So like everybody is like calling their family to like pick them up and shit. And she's like, oh wow, well, we can finally go now. So that's not where the story ends. There's more. Fucking more. That's not where the story ends, guys. So finally, so everyone's calling their family and friends to pick them up, and since I was already there to pick up Mary, she's like, cool, we can go home now. I'll tell you where I live, right? So like she calls her family, and she's like, hey guys, like I'm still at the bus station facility, but you don't have to worry anymore because they just opened up the streets again, so we can finally like drive home. So like I'm gonna tell my friend here like where you could drop me off and shit. So I should be home like in an hour, because like for me it was like an hour and a half to get to where I live, and for her it was like an hour to get to where she lived, you know, because like again, this bus station was like on the outskirts of town basically. And then her family, like I think it was her dad she was talking to. She was like you're not coming home. And then she was like, what do you mean I'm not coming home? And her dad was all like, yeah, like the area like around where they live was completely blocked in. Like basically like he said that his family was literally holed up in their house for like the last 2 days. Like they couldn't leave basically. Like ever since the snow, like at first it was cool, right? Like when they noticed the snow, they're like, oh my god, it's snowing, woo woo. But then like, here's the thing. Snow is fun when it's like 1 inch of snow. But then like, you know, as like the inches pile up, it's not fun no more. You know what I'm saying? Snow is good in low doses, but like once you get up to like fucking feet of snow, that's when it really sucks. So basically, I guess where they live, it was like a higher elevation or something. So like they took like the full brunt of like the goddamn snowstorm that hit us. So like where they lived was completely blocked off. Like they had the snow plows. And like they had people like snow shovels trying to dig it out or something. But the thing is that like they couldn't do anything on the first day because where they lived, it was still snowing actually. Because like where I was, the bus station was at lower elevation, so like it stopped snowing. Like for me, it snowed, but then it stopped snowing by the next day. For them though, it snowed for the whole day. So they couldn't do anything on the first day. So on the second day, that's when they brought in the construction workers to actually get through all the snow and ice that was where they lived. So she couldn't go fucking home. And then she was all like, well, what am I supposed to do? And then like her dad asked, well, like, can your friend take you to their place? Because like you can't come home because it's blocked up where we're at. So like I had to like look up like my area to see if the roads were open. And like it was open actually. So like my area was lower elevation too. So my area, the roads just happened to be open for me to get home. So I was like, so you want to come home with me? And she's all like, not like I got anywhere else to go. And then like, yeah, so we just drove home. So like I took her over to my place and we spent the next 3 days at my place. So I took her home, I cooked her some dinner, and then she's like, oh my god, Tetsa, you're a great cook. I'm like, yep. Because I grew up like with a dad for a chef or whatever. And then like I assumed I was gonna take her home like the next day, but like her place was still snowed in though. Like she kept calling her parents and they're like, no, you still can't come home. It's like snowed in. So she stayed in my place for 3 days. For 3 fucking days. And I'm all like, wow. Like, you know what? I wouldn't have to deal with this shit if I had stayed home. If my friend never told me to leave my house at 8 p.m. when the bus was still at the other town, I would never have gotten fucking snowed into the bus station in the first place, you know? But this happened, you know? And I made a pretty cute girlfriend now in the process. Because after that, like, we had spent so much time together, we decided to start dating. I mean, I'm not together with that girl anymore, though. We eventually broke up. But, like, we had spent so much time talking on the phone with each other and making fun of my dumbass friend. And she basically spent, like, the past 3 days living with me that, you know, we decided to, like, hey, let's just make this a thing. And she's like, cool, why not? So we made it a thing. So I dated this girl for about, I want to say 1.5 years before we broke it off. And, like, we broke off on good terms, though. Like, I'm still friends with her, actually. And it just wasn't working out. We were going different places, and I think we only had like a physical attraction to each other. I don't think we really had much of like a bond or something. Basically, like, we were really only in it for the sex, I think. Because, like, other than the sex, like, I think, like, we didn't really see eye to eye on a lot of things. But again, though, like, it wasn't, like, full-blown arguments we were having, though. It was just more like, oh, like, you're just not into it, you know? The sex was great, but that was it, though. And you can't build a relationship on just sex alone, you know? So, yeah, we broke off, but I'm still friends with her, actually. Like, we actually still talk about anime, though. Like, we still talk about anime, and, like, we actually play some online games together sometimes, like, every once in a while. So, yeah. So, in the long run, my dumbass friend, who called me to go and pick him up at 8 p.m., when he shouldn't have called me at 8 p.m., he got me a girlfriend in the process. So, mission accomplished, I guess? Yeah? Yeah. And that's the story. Oh yeah, by the way, so some of you may be wondering, so wait, what about his childhood friend? Did they ever hook up? No, they did not. So, like, him and his childhood friend, they never hooked up because she married some other guy. So yeah, they never hooked up. So, yep. So, happy ending for me, not so happy ending for him. So my dumbass friend never even got it. He never even got to first base with his childhood friend. So yeah. So get fucked. Get fucked. Yep. And that's the end of the story. That is the end. That is the end of the story. Yatami says, did he bang her? I think they banged. I think so. I think they banged, but they just never, they didn't get married though. She married some other guy, but I think they banged. I know they went on a few dates. And I know that, like, they were pretty involved with each other for a while. But the thing is that, like, I don't think they ever used the term boyfriend and girlfriend with each other, though. Like, from what I hear, like, I don't think they ever considered each other, like, super, like, oh, like, this is my boyfriend, my girlfriend. I don't think they ever said that about each other. But, like, I think the only thing that really connected them to each other was the fact that they were childhood friends, basically. Like, that was, like, the only thing that connected them. And then, like, other than going on a few dates, she just ended up marrying some other guy anyway, so, yeah. So, I don't really think there was much there. Like, there wasn't much for the relationship, I guess. I mean, that's what I hear, though. That's what I hear. Itami says that was about an hour rant tangent featuring Kotoko. I mean, the Kotoko part had relatively nothing to do with this rant. It's like, Kotoko was the catalyst. Like, just because we were talking about old music that I listened to, and then, like, when I busted this out to show to you guys, and then I realized Kotoko was, like, the main singer for this, and, Kotoko and Mel. Oh shit, Mel's in this too. Mel's also, like, an old school Seiyu singer. But yeah, other than Kotoko, though, like, Kotoko was, like, what brought this rant up in my mind, basically. The moment that, like, I realized Kotoko was the main singer in this, everything, like, it rushed back in this head of mine. Like, I'm like, hey, I remember that. And then I listened to Kotoko music for, like, 12 hours straight, because I was stuck in my car for 12 hours straight, because I was fucking boxed in the snow for, like, fucking 3 days. Technically, I was boxed in the snow for a week. Technically, it was, like, a week. But, yeah. Like, okay, so, timeline, guys. I was stuck at the bus station for 2 days, basically. 1.5 days. Nah, it was basically, like, a 1 3/4. I was stuck in the bus station for, like, 1 3/4 of a day, snowed in, and then me and Mary were living together for, like, 3 days, because she couldn't go home. And then I dropped her off to her place after the roads to her place opened up. Not that she didn't enjoy living with me, whatever, you know? And and then like and of course I stayed over at her place for like a few hours to like meet her parents, because like within the 3 days, basically within the 3 days that she lived with me, that's when we decided that we were gonna like become an item, because like we were already spending so much time with each other in the first place. So that's when we decided to be boyfriend and girlfriend. And then a lot of roads and places were still snowed in though. So like a lot of places were actually still in like quarantine. Quarantine before quarantine was a thing, right? So I drove back home, and then like I was still basically like in self-isolation because I couldn't go to work. I legit couldn't go to work because work was snowed in. So the total time I had spent snowed in was like almost a week then. Like more places opened up like more and more as time went on, but places were still being closed up though, you know? So, yeah. But yeah, Kotoko was the catalyst that brought up this rant. I listened to the full Negima soundtrack, Maho Shoujo Lyrical Nanaha soundtrack, and the whole Kotoko lineup. Let me see. How much time did I spend? Like I said, I have the Kotoko soundtrack up right now. So let me go and highlight the songs we've listened to, and let me see how far we got. Let me see. Yeah, an hour and 50 minutes. Basically, I've been ranting for 1 hour and 50 minutes just because I saw Kotoko, basically. Yeah. Wow. You were close. You were close, Katami. You were close. An hour and 50. Because basically, I'm using the music. I'm using the music as a way to gauge how long I've been ranting. How much music do I have left of this soundtrack? Let me see. I mean, shit. Do we want to do a fucking 24-hour live stream? Let me see. How much time do I got left? Like we live stream until the music is done, right? Let me see. I have 8 hours. I have 8 hours left. I have 8 hours and 10 minutes left of the Kotoko soundtrack. So if I wanted to, I could stream, guys, for 8 more hours until the music finally stops. Before, like, it starts looping again. I mean, shit, what do I stream for 8 hours? We don't stop streaming until the Kotoko music is done. Whew. I mean, do I have another rant in me? I don't know if I have another rant in me, guys. I don't know. I don't know if I got another rant. 8-hour rant stream? I need another catalyst, guys. I don't know what else I could talk about. What's another fucking catalyst? I need something to bring up another rant in me. Cause like I got so much deep shit in this brain, guys. I don't know. I don't know if I could just pick something at random, you know? I need something to like remind me. I need like a reminder of something. I don't know. I don't fucking know. What's this? Announcements and a Moimon thing? Oh, wow. Okay, wait, guys, totally off topic, by the way. So, like, I'm on the Moimon Discord, because, you know, like, the Moimon sprites are pretty cute, and I like to mod my Pokemon games. So Moimon got flagged by Discord. It says, sorry for the mass pings, but we were just reported by Discord for a violation of TOS. We will be removing questionable content, so please bear with us. So, wait, questionable content, like, what does that mean? Did the Moimon server get flagged for, like, fucking showing, like, naked lolis or something? Because to be fair, a lot of the Moimon are lolis. I mean, it had to be loli content, I would assume. I would assume it's loli content. I don't know. But they got flagged by Discord. That's kind of funny. Kitsune says Haruhi, Lucky Star Nagima. Trying to remember old shit. The Moimon Discord is still up, though. It's still up. It's just that, like, they're removing black content because, like, I guess they were in violation of TOS. So, yeah. Kitsune says we have worse things here. True, but we also don't have the population, though. Like, we don't have that massive of a population. We have, like, fucking 90 users or something. Let me check. How many people do I have in my Discord server? Let me check. I have members. 40. Oh, we have 40. We have 40 members. I know that of those 40 members, 20 are lurkers. Like, 20 are lurkers from YouTube that wanted an invite to the Discord because they like to see the conversations, basically. Huh. Yeah. Kitsune says probably a mod of Discord as part of the Moimon server. Maybe. Shit, you know what, guys? It's been a while since I listened to Cultical music. This is good music. Like, again though, this music dates back to 2000. 2000. I was 13 years old. I was born in 1987. Yeah, I was 13 years old. You know what? Maybe I should like write that down for myself. Every time I go into rant mode, bring up Cultical music. Cultical music is great background music. Bring this shit up every time I go into rant mode. Cultical music. I know that Cultical's been singing since 1996 though. I'm pretty sure some of this music here is copyrighted to 1996, but like, the collection I have is copyrighted 2000, but I'm sure some it goes back even further though. So yeah. But anyway, it's 12:27 a.m. my time, guys. So I'm gonna call it. Here, guys. It's kind of funny because for today's stream, I had intended to play a game, actually. For this stream, I had intended to play, like, a simulation game. I never got to it. We ranted for this entire stream. This entire stream has been just one big rant. I mean, like, just chatting, basically. Yeah, basically just chatting. Like, I spent, like, the first half of this stream just, talking about random shit, and then, like, a little bit was Gross Frontline. I never got into the game, though. That simulation game, I had to wait until Friday, I guess. And then, like, I got distracted by Cultico, so, like, I ranted for that, so... Yeah, this is a fucking rant stream. I'm gonna make sure I highlight this shit for YouTube. Since I can't stream on YouTube no more. So, yeah! Alright, I'm hungry, guys. I'm gonna get something to eat. So, I'll see you Friday. I'll see you guys Friday.